We are back and joined by Candy Panda from SK in that hard-fought win, that comeback win over the Copenhagen Wolves, and the first win for SK Gaming, the new SK Gaming in this LCS. That game was so incredibly back and forth. Just tell me from your side of the story of the game, where you knew you had the upper hand.
So first of all, I have to say that after the first 2 games, we were kind of down, but I think we knew we had the potential to win the game. In scrims, it was always kind of 50-50 if we win or lose, but after the first games, we weren't so sure, but we still knew we could win. So for this game, we took a different approach to win it and play more aggressive. That was our plan. So that's how we won.
Talk to me about the different approach. Who makes the decision for that? Whose call was it to say, look, let's go a little bit more aggressive, let's pick some more fights? Because let's be honest, it didn't work early on. You guys were behind, you struggled a little bit, and it felt like the Ziggs bombs coming down from Copenhagen Wolves and Coutard made your life very difficult.
So yeah, first of all, Ziggs is always hard to create something. But after the Fnatic game, we sat down and we talked about what happened. And it was basically we didn't create any opportunity for us to do something. So we said to ourselves, just try to create something so we can do something out of it, not just sit around, do nothing. So that's what we did.
Yeah, and talking about creating opportunities, that is something you really had to do in this game to find the edge. And it's really cool that we have you here because we can talk about one of, in our opinion, key moments in the game.
I would actually say it's probably the fight that got SK back into the matchup. We've got a replay ready. Let's actually pull this replay up onto your screens right now. It's around about 39 minutes on the clock. You guys are a couple thousand gold down, you're behind in some kills, and you're trying to defend this top lane tower. Now, we're about to start this replay in just a moment, but I'd like you to explain to us and the viewers what was going through your mind as an AD carry. What was SK Gaming talking about in this moment? Let's actually roll this replay right now and talk us through it, Candy.
So if you look at the team comps, you would see that the only way for us to engage is Shyvana flanking them. So when we saw them pushing, every time they pushed, we were like, okay, this is actually good for us because Shyvana can flank them and we can go. So basically, as soon as we saw them push and group, Frey just said I'm going in, just follow up, and then we did. And then we just, since Freddy went into the back line, we could clean up their front line. So that's what happened.
And talk to us a little bit about your own play there, because you were untouched for the first half of that fight, and then by time Copenhagen Wolves were retreating, that was you had a tiny bit of damage. Was that a good fight for you as an AD carry? Did your team really sort of peel and protect you well? Or was that more you being in the right place? Whose job was done better?
Right, so this fight as an AD carry is really easy because basically no one can touch you because they're all running away from the Shyvana and the Lee Sin. They're like, oh, get away, get away. So you can just do whatever you want as an AD carry, and it's not hard to play that kind of team fight.
Not hard to play that kind of team fight, easy.
Next question is just very quickly. You guys got the Baron off that one. It then got drawn out still for another sort of 10 or 12 minutes back and forth. What was it that extended the game as well? What was it that kept the game still so close and you were trading kills and blows and gold the whole time?
Yeah, so after we got the Nasher, we took all 3 outer turrets. We tried to get control of their jungle for the next Nasher, but then we lost. We didn't lose the fight in mid, but we got 3 for 2. But then we just kind of went away from Nash and they just took it. So that
was where you fail flashed and hit the wall and then had to arcane shift into the river. Not that I've seen that or anything.
Right.
Yeah, but to be fair, you did have people diving on you. Yeah. It was an immediate tibbers.
It's a little mean. Now, actually, what I also wanted to ask you is this is one win, but that doesn't mean that the problems that were there beforehand were eliminated. And we noticed that you're kind of looking for new things. You said creating new things, as here, very sieging, a poke comp. What do you think is the main thing that you have to work on, maybe a specific lane or?
We have to improve on a lot of things. There's nothing you could specifically point out. We're still a young team. There's the spring split. It still means something, but it's more for preparation for the summer split. That's where it really counts. So we're just trying to get the most out of it this season, get the best place we can, and yeah, just improve as much as you can. As I said, there's nothing specifically you can point out.
I've got a question about that training regime. How do you improve as a team? How do you, in Candy Panda's mind, step back, look at SK as a whole, and say, these are the things we need to do? And don't say scrims. I'm not letting you answer that way. What specific things do you need to work on, and how?
So if you want to prepare for a match or like prepare for LCS tournament, whatever, first of all you have to play solo queue for the individual skill, so you're good on lane, so you can actually like do something with your advantage. Then you have to scrim. I know you said I don't want to say it, but you have to scrim. That's the reality. Then you also have to prepare, like look up what the enemy plays. Like you can look at the enemy jungler, see what paths he take, and see like you can think why does he do that, and then you can like see. So like you know his timings when he comes bottom, when he comes top, whatever.
But I tell you what, I'll make this easier for that. I hope you guys win some more, because I would like to ask you again, when you scrim, how do you focus on specific things? So start practicing a response for me, all right?
Okay, I will do it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Candy Panda. Congratulations. First victory for SK Gaming in the European LCS here. And now let's send it over to D-Man and Officio.